Welcome to the Board Game Network. This is James here. I'm going to be teaching you how to play the Pied Piper. This is part of the Tales and Games series put out by Yellow. So they look like story books. So you stick them on your shelf and they look like a book. But they're based on stories. This one's based on the Pied Piper. This thing plays with 2 to 5 players, 8 years and up, about 20 minutes. So what you do is you take, each person gets a house and each person gets a rat tracker, and this tracks how many rats you have in your house. So you get dealt, shuffle the action cards, deal 4 action cards to each player. You put a mouse in between every house. The youngest, or the last person that saw a rat in the bathtub, that's the starting player. To the left of that person is the Pied Piper and an extra mouse. So there's 2 mice and the Pied Piper. Between every other house there's 1 mouse. And the color of the mouse is based on the tail. The tail has a unique color. And then you have these cards here and you shuffle them and deal them out. If you get more than 1 Pied Piper card out there, you're going to keep dealing until you and then stick the extra Pied Pipers back into the deck and reshuffle. So you only have 1 Pied Piper out at most. Okay? If you're playing fewer, I've got it set up for 5 players, you're playing fewer, then you're not going to have the house out, you're not going to have that tracker out. And so you're going to get rid of 1 of the mice, or maybe more than 1 mouse. So you have 1 more mouse or rat than you have people. So that 1 player always has 2 with the Pied Piper and 1 between every house. So whichever mice or rats you get rid of, you are going to go through this deck here and pull those color rats out of the deck so that they don't show up. Okay, that's the way it's set up. You have 4 action cards here. You look through them. And you're going to play 2 cards. They have to be on 2 different mice or the Pied Piper cards out here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a green arrow for the purple. And where's the purple? Purple's right there. I don't want him going, whenever a rat goes through my house or past my house, my rat tracker goes up 1. I don't like that. That means there's a rat in my house. If it ever gets up to the roof, I'm leaving and I'm out of the game. Anytime the Pied Piper goes across my house, the rat tracker goes down 1. Yay. That's what you want. You want the Pied Piper going back and forth across your house as much as you can. You don't want the rats doing that. Okay, so I want to send that rat to the right, away from me. And let's see, where's the blue? Blue's over here. Let's just say I am, well, I don't have a left in my hand. Let's send a black. But this one is underground, which means it doesn't affect my house. It goes under my house and not through my house. So that one goes to the right. You'll notice the weather vane up here, or whatever, is green to the right and red to the left. So greens go to the right, reds to the left. And this game goes to the right on players. So once I'm done, then I'm going to draw back to 4 cards in my hand. And then the player to my right goes, not the player to the left like most of your games. So that plays a little bit backwards. And so this person is going to look at their hand and see what they want to do. And they have some rights and a left. They definitely doesn't want the purple to go left, because if the purple went right and then left, it would go, and the rat tracker would go up 2. That would not be good at all. But let's say the black is going to come over by this player. Let's say you know, come over here underground but then go back across. You don't like rats next to your house because it makes your house vulnerable. Okay, so let's say we do that for one card, and I don't know, or the purple, let's say purple goes another one to the right. Now nothing happens to these mice or the Pied Piper until they have 2 cards on them. So once there's 1 card out there, doesn't do anything, doesn't affect it. It's when the second one gets played that something happens to the card. And if there's 2 of them that get 2 cards on the same person's turn, they can choose which one happens in which order. So let's say the purple goes to the right, this rat tracker goes up, and then it goes underground to the right. So it does not affect this house. This gets discarded. The black one goes underground here, and then overground here, and my rat tracker goes up. Okay, so that one gets discarded. We get 2 new cards. We have a Pied Piper card and then a green rat. Okay, so the Pied Piper gets moved by putting cards down under the Pied Piper. And then this person's going to draw 2 more cards. Okay. So there's mostly rights and lefts. Most cards are rights. There are double rights, like this one, which makes a rat go 2 houses, go past 2 houses. There are +1s, and the +1 can be the first card down or the second card down, but it just does 1 more of whatever the other card is. So this one would make this one go 3 to the right, or it would make that one go 2 to the right, and it doesn't matter again which order it is, it's just going to do the other one. If it's not next to a basic card, which is just a right, a double right, or a left, if it's not next to one of those, it's not going to do anything. Like here's a melody card. A +1 next to a melody doesn't do anything. A melody card, what it does is it makes everything that's in the space with this mouse or this Pied Piper, makes it all go. So let's say that got played down. Where's the blue? Well, blue's by itself, so that's not going to do a whole lot of good. But let's get it over here on the black. Now everything goes to the right 1 space, and so you'd have to go, well, I'm going to go up 2 because of 2 mice, 2 rats, and then go down 1 because of the Pied Piper. And you can, I have seen it where you have like 3 or 4 rats in the same space. So you get them all moving together, and it's devastating to somebody because their rat tracker is going to go up fast. Okay, so that's the way you play this game. Let me see if there's any cards in here. That one definitely not goes in there. Those aren't even the right cards. Melody, rights and lefts, and underground, and then +1s. Oh, I got to remember this. If somebody is out of the game, their house immediately gets removed. So in the case where you've got 2 rats with 2 cards, or 1 rat with 2 cards, and somebody is out of the game on the first card, but there's still another card to play, this house gets immediately taken out. And so the second card, or if 1 rat's gone and the second rat hasn't gone yet, then the second rat is going to play as if that house is not even there. So it's going to dynamically adjust the game because that person's now out. So it's going to affect if somebody drops out in the middle of 2 cards being played. The game ends when you get down to 2 players. Once you're down to 2 players, the winner is the person with the rat tracker farthest down. So you don't play down to 1 player, you play down to 2. So if you're down to 3 players and you're getting ready to knock somebody out and you look and your rat tracker is higher than the other person that's going to be left in, you probably don't want to knock that other person out. You want to see if you can get the other person's rat tracker up higher before you knock this person out. If there is a tie, then whoever has the most rat trackers. So how do you get rat trackers? Well, when you knock somebody out, when somebody gets knocked out on your turn, you get their rat tracker. So you just accumulate rat trackers. And if somebody knocks you out, they get all of your rat trackers that you have. So that's just simply a tiebreaker, is counting rat trackers. There are 2 variants in this game. So once you've played this a couple of times, try out the variants. The variants are very easy. One variant called the Rugrats is you remove the +1 and the melody cards out of the deck, and actions happen immediately instead of postponing them until you got 2 out. But the rat or the Pied Piper doesn't get discarded until 2 cards are on them. So even though I put a card down and I immediately move the green, I wait until there's another card and green goes again, that the green gets discarded. So that plays a little bit different. And then there's also the a happy life is a secret life variant, and that one you play 1 card down and 1 card up, and it doesn't matter which action card gets down and which one's up. You just play 1 down, 1 up, doesn't matter which. So you've got some secrets, you got something like that or something like this, and then it's your turn. You don't know whether that blue is going to the right towards you or to the left away from you, and then you're stuck with trying to decide whether to play on top of it. And this one is played with all of the cards, the +1, the melody cards. And then one thing I failed to mention right at the very beginning is the first player only gets to play 1 card on his first turn only. So that one's kind of challenging to see in the rule book, but it's in there. And then once the first player is gone, then everybody plays 2 cards after that. So that is the Pied Piper. Very interesting game, and I know that this would be fun for especially that young crowd, the 10-year-old, 11-year-old, that thinks it would be fun to play with the rats. Make sure you tune into all of the Board Game Network videos and subscribe to this YouTube channel.